Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we are continuing with the alphabet series. We are going through the entire alphabet, choosing my top 10 games for each of these, and today's letter is B. So we're doing my top 10 B games. And this was very interesting compared to letter A. I played a bunch of B games before, but I didn't feel like this list was as strong as A's were. I really like the games that are on the top of this list, but the bottom half, they're good games, but I just don't think they're as strong as A's list was. So that was kind of interesting. Before we get into the 10 games that made the list, we're going to go through quick honorable mentions. Just a few of them. We got Bang the Dice game, Beastie Bar, Bravo, Blue Moon City, and Battle Line. Those were the ones that were just on the outskirts of it and just didn't quite make the top 10, but also games that I enjoy as well. So let's get into number 10. Number 10 is the smallest game on this list. It's probably going to be the simplest game on all of these lists. This is Bandito. This is a either solo game or cooperative game where you're just playing out tiles, and this Bandito is trying to escape, and you are playing out these tiles to try to block off all of the exits for the Bandito. But you're playing out these cards that have tunnels on them, and they might create more tunnels, more escapes for them, but you have to play a card on your turn. So, hopefully you get cards that block them off, and this is a very expandable game. I mean, it starts off like this, and you play a card each time, and soon you're playing. It's expanding off of your table. Like I have a 3 foot by 5 foot table in front of me that I play a lot of solo games on. A lot of times I don't have room for this little card game on my big table because it expands so much, and it just comes in a little box. And I remember playing this game one time with a friend, and we were playing like on a poker table, and I brought this game out, and I'm like, well, we might not have room for this game. And he's looking at the tiny little box, and he was like, what? And as soon as we started expanding, he goes, oh, okay, we have to maneuver some things around. So, but it's a fun little solo game, very, very simple. That is number 10, Bandito. Going to number 9. Number 9 was one of those games that really surprised me when this game came out and I played it for the first time. This is Back to the Future, Back in Time, which is this cooperative dice game where you are moving characters around. You're trying to get a DeLorean in the certain position to, escape. Biff is moving around the board. He's the enemy in this game, and he's just messing up everything. And you're just trying to manipulate this board, use these dice in a fun way. And it's one of those games that, like I said, it was probably one of my biggest surprises of this year when it came out, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And this game is by Prospero Hall, the design team, and they are just one of the most confusing design. Well, it's a design team. They were one of the most confusing designers out there for me because they make such good games like this one I enjoy, and then they make games that I just don't like at all. They're like one of the most up and down design teams, I should say, out there for myself, because they've made games like Horrified and Pan Am, but they've made a lot of stinkers for me. But this is one of them that's really, really good. So number 9, Back to the Future, Back in Time. Going to number 8. Number 8 is a draft and write game, actually. This is Boomerang. This is one of those games that when I made my top 10 roll and write games, this was on there. I enjoy this game quite a bit. You are going to be drafting these cards around the table, and the cards have a lot of different information on them from the activities that you're going to be marking off. That's kind of like this set collection area in certain ways. Then you're trying to get certain cards that have different locations on them. And there's just a lot to think about for a game that's so simple. And at the end of the round, you're just marking off what you score for each of those rounds, each of the different locations that you're visiting. And it's just one of those games that is small package, small rules, but a lot of fun. So number 8 is Boomerang. Going to number 7. Number 7 is also another simple game. This is a tile laying game. This is Bärenpark by Phil Walker Harding, who is the king of simple games that have a lot of depth and choices and fun in them. And this one is very simple. You're just going to be placing out a tile, and the place that you cover up is going to get you probably more tiles. And also some of these spaces are going to let you get more boards to build on, and you're trying to fill out I think it's 4 different boards. Whoever does that's going to trigger the game. But you're also racing to do different things and activities covering up your board, and it's so fast. You're just placing on a tile, grabbing tiles that you get in rewards, and it's very, very simple, very, very fun. If you like polyomino games, I think this is one of them that's up there. That's really, really good. Very simple. Number 7, Barren Park. Going to number 6. Number 6 is a game that also just made a list of mine, and this is The Bloody Inn, which made my top 10 games to play for Halloween. This is a card game where you are just playing as the owner of a hotel, and customers are coming in, and sometimes you're going to be killing those customers, but you also have to make sure that that body's not lying around, so you have to bury that body as well, because there's going to be cops coming in as well and you don't want them to see the body lying around, obviously. So I mean, then you could kill cops and stuff. I don't recommend that, but yeah, very fun game with kind of like this weird theme, but if you don't take it too seriously. But it's just a fun, engaging game that I really enjoy actually as a solo game. Probably equally as good for the multiplayer, I think, games too. So number 6 is The Bloody Inn. Going to number 5. Number 5 is an older card game. This is Biblios. I've played Biblios quite a bit. I haven't played it for a while. After I made this list, I'm like, yeah, I haven't played Biblios for quite a while. But there's 2 phases in this game. In the first phase, you're kind of pushing your luck, drafting these cards. And then you're going to be using these cards in the second half to bid for more cards. And you're trying to get like the majority of certain of these colors. And whoever's got that can score that color. And those colors are going to be related to dice. And these dice are going to be going up and down in value. You're going to be manipulating those values throughout the game. And it's an older game by Steve Finn. Yeah, Steve Finn, I believe, that I've just really enjoyed over the years. Fun little game. Number 5, Biblios. Going to number 4. Number 4 is one of the weirdest kind of games out there that I've played, but it's really, really good. Really solid game. This is Brian Boru, High King of Ireland. This is a trick-taking game that adds in area control and area majority. And you're just going to be playing tricks on there. And some tricks you want to win, some tricks you want to lose, because, if you win, you get this reward. If you lose, you're going to get these rewards. And so it's got this interesting flow to the game that it's to me, it's just one of the most interesting trick-taking games out there, because you don't see many games that, trick-taking in area control is already kind of out there, but it's just very fun. A lot to think about on your turns. And one that's not very popular, that not a lot of people talk about, but I think it's worth checking out if you've never heard of it or never tried it. So number 4, Brian Boru, High King of Ireland. Going to number 3. Number 3 is a cute drafting game. This is Bunny Kingdom. In Bunny Kingdom, you're going to be drafting cards, a la Seven Wonders style. Take a card, pass the rest, pick a card, pass the rest. These cards are going to basically correlate with different positions on the map, where you're going to put out more bunnies, trying to control certain areas, trying to cover up different resources. And there's a lot of multiplication in this game for being so cute. But, your scores can reach in the couple hundreds in this game. And it's fun, it's light, it's cute. But there's some special ability cards that are really interesting, some different scoring cards that are going to score you points in fun new ways. Just a lot to think about. And this game is actually by Richard Garfield, known for Magic the Gathering. So he made Magic the Gathering and then King of Tokyo and Bunny Kingdom. He's just a great designer overall. So number 3, Bunny Kingdom. Going to number 2. Number 2 for my list is actually number 1 on the BGG all-time games right now. This is Brass Birmingham. This is one of those games that's big, heavy rules, Euro-style game, managing resources, using cards in those different ways, trying to get different routes of your stuff on the board. And there's 2 different phases in this game, and you can do this on this phase but not on this phase, and there's just a lot to think about. There's a lot of rules in this game, and I've talked about this before. This is one of those games that if you own this game, this is going to reward you for repeat plays. If you don't own this game, you're going to play this game and you're going to be out of your depths. Even if you only play it if you play it like once a year, you're like, I don't remember this. And there's different phases that you got to do. and there's just a lot of rules overhead, and that's why it's not number one, and probably might be the best game on this list, but it's the one that I don't personally own. So every time I play it, I'm like, yeah, this is really good, but I'm kind of confused on a couple parts here and there. But I'm having a good time playing it, but my brain hurts at the end of it in a good way. So number two, Brass Birmingham. Going to number one. Number one is a game that I actually did not like right away, and I actually gave it away. And then the more I played it, I'm like, yeah, that was a mistake giving this game away, but it's really, really good, really fun. This is a Blood Rage. This is a CMON game, lots of miniatures. There's area control. You're fighting other people. But what really brings this game up for me is the drafting. Each round, you're going to be drafting these cards, and that's going to manipulate how your strategy is going to evolve over the few rounds this game is. And, it on the surface, it looks just like a battling, trying to destroy everybody on this. But you might be going into battles thinking, I want to lose this, or because I want my people to die, or go to Valhalla because I'm going to get extra bonus points for that, or I'm going to manipulate this battle in some way that's going to be, out there and people aren't going to be expecting, and all of a sudden the whole battle changes, and okay, they just lost 4 of their characters and now I'm winning it, and even though nobody was expecting that. And there's just a lot of different strategy, and it mostly surfaces from the drafting part of it, and that's why I like it, and that's why I've enjoyed it over the years. That's why at first when I played it, I did only play it a 2-player game, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this at 2-player. So I tried it 3-player. I'm like, yeah, it's better than 2-player, but I didn't like it then. Then I was playing it 4-player. I'm like, yeah, this is a really good game. It's a really solid game, and it's not just a beat 'em up style game. There's a lot to think about when you're drafting your cards. And so that is why it is my number 1 B game, Blood Rage. And that will complete this list, so make sure to comment down below some of your favorite B games. And I know there's going to be some other ones, and I haven't played all the games, and people are going to mention those ones. So please mention those ones, and we'll see you on the next one when we get into letter C. Take care.